knowledge was passed from generation to generation, and it is passing on from generation to generation with explicit instructions that no matter what happened, not a single letter of this body of knowledge should be changed. Great care was taken to preserve the Vedas, and we are fortunate that it has come to us in the same form it was intended. What happened? Yes.
Changed, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we know that physics is a study of matter and its motion, along with related concepts such as energy and force. The Vedas and Puranas have given the path of Vedic physics. It is called Bhauta Shastram. In Kannada, physics is called as Bhauta Shastra because it is the study of Panchabhutas around us, that is the environment around us. Before going to the subject matter, let us know what some of the well-known scientists of the world have showed their reverential remarks about our motherland. So, we have heard of Erwin Schrodinger. He says all the physicists are aware of the Schrodinger's equation. The multiplicity is only apparent. This is the doctrine of the Upanishad and not of the Upanishads only. The mystical experience of the union with God regularly leads to this view unless strong prejudice stand in the way, he says. And then we know the famous scientist Niels Bohr, he says, I go into the Upanishads to ask questions. So Upanishads are the texts which make us to ask questions. So W. Heinsberg, German physicist, says, after the conversation about Indian philosophy, some of the ideas of quantum physics that had seemed so crazy suddenly made much more sense, he said. So Will Durant, American historian, says India was the motherland of our race and Sanskrit the mother of Europe's languages. She was the mother of our philosophy, mother through Arabs of much of our mathematics, mother through the Buddha, the ideas embodied in Christianity, mother through the village community of self-government and democracy. Mother India is in many ways the mother of us all. India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, the great-grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most instructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only, says Mark Twain. Albert Einstein, the famous scientist, says, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. So these are other remarks. It is already becoming clear that a chapter which had been Western beginning will have to have an Indian ending if it is not end in the self-destruction of the human race. At this supremely dangerous moment in history, the only of salvation for mankind is the Indian way. The Sanskrit, the British Orientalist says, the Sanskrit language, whatever be its antiquity, it is of wonderful structure, more perfect than the Greek, more copious than the Latin, and more exquisitely refined than either, he says. So why are they appreciating India so much? Because we have achieved so much in the field of science. We think that the dawn of Western science is the dawn of scientific fraternity, but it is wrong. So when we go to our roots, we know that, so we are the people who are more thoughtful, who are more scientific in the thought process. See, let us take the battery, for example, that we are using. And battery was invented by Benjamin Franklin in 1752 AD, gave the practical information about the electricity. The British scientist John Frederick Daniell in 1836 carried this information, and this battery was invented. In India, this concept was known thousands of years ago. Agastya Samhita, composed by the great sage Agastya, describes thus. We have all heard of the great sage Agastya, and in Tamil Nadu, he is considered to be the father of the Tamil language, and he is the root cause for the Sangama literature, they say. But Agastya Samhita says how a battery is prepared. See, samsthapya mrunmaye patre tamrapatram susamskritam chadayet shikhagreevena chardrabhihi kashtapamsubhihi dastaloshto nidhatavyaha paradat chaktidastataha samyoga jayate tejo mitra varuna samgitaha. So, in Indian tradition, Mitra Varuna and Indra Varuna, they stand for electricity and atomic energy. So it is said, you take copper sulfate. Yes, let me go to the stanza there. Yes, let me see. Take an earthen pot, keep a copper sheet and copper sulfate in it. Put some wet sawdust between them. Then the mercury amalgamated zinc plate should then be placed on the top of the sawdust. By their contact, electricity is produced. So on this basis of the above description, Mr. P.P. Holle, professor of engineering in Nagpur, and his friends built a cell on the basis. Built this cell. So I showed you the picture, no? Yes. Built this cell on the basis of the description given in Agastya Samhita, and measured it by digital multimeter. Its open circuit voltage was found to be 1.38 volts and short circuit current was 23 milliamperes. This successful experiment was demonstrated on 7th August 1990 by the Swadeshi Science Revision Institute, Nagpur. Thus, the concept is validated. The sage Agastya probably belonged to 1000 BCE. Yes. Next, I told you I can give you some of the glimpses of some concepts that are. So, concept of sound. Nava janami yadi vedamasmi ninyaha sannadho manasacharami yada magan prathamaja rutasya vivacho ashruve bhagamasyaha. Say about, this is the Rigvedic hymn, that is first mandala, 164th chapter and 37th mantra, it says, "What thing I truly am, I know not clearly. I wander in my mysterious fettered mind. When the firstborn, the holy law, approached me, then of this speech I first obtain a portion. In this speech, in this hymn, speech is prized as the final abode of Brahman." Yes, we know the importance of sound, without which no conversation or uh, nothing can exist in this world or in this universe. Maitrayani Upanishad mentions two kinds of Brahman for the first time, Shabda Brahma and Ashabda Brahma. Dve Brahmani Veditavye Shabda Brahma Param Chayat Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha Param Brahma Dhigachati. Two Brahmans are to be known. The word Brahman and the highest Brahman, that is the supreme, to be achieved. He who is perfect in the word Brahman, that is Shabda Brahman, attains the highest Brahman, say Maitrayani Upanishad, 6th chapter, 22nd mantra. And we know that sound is the main means of communication among living beings. Every sound has its own significance. We very well know that word and its meaning are inseparable. There is no word without a meaning, and no meaning can be guessed without a word. Every word or sound has its own meaning. So, in Sanskrit grammar, it is said that Ekashabdaha Samyagnataha Suprayuktaha Swarge Loke Chakamadhu Bhavati. Ekashabdaha, a word, Samyagnataha, with the perfect knowledge of word or sound. It should be used in a proper way. Suprayuktaha. Then it fetches us everything we wish, like a Kamadhenu, the heavenly cow. This is the knowledge of when to use, how to use, where to use the words properly. That is the proper use of the language. How is sound produced? We know that sound is produced when an object vibrates, creating a pressure wave. As the particles vibrate, they move nearby particles, transmitting the sound further through the medium, such as gas, liquid, or solid. The human ear detects the sound waves when vibrating air particles vibrate small parts within the ear. Human ear has the capacity to perceive sound waves between 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Let us know some of these. So, 4 successive stages of transformation of sound. See, this is very fantastic and very important. See, we all talk, but before talking, what all the reactions that take place in our brain, you see, it is very amazing and it is very fantastic to know about it. So Rigveda says, Chatvari vak parimita padani tani vidur brahmanaha ye manishinaha guha trini nihita nengayanti turiyam vacho manushya vadanti. Speech had been measured out in 4 divisions. The Brahmins who have understanding know them. 3 kept in close concealment cause no motion of speech. Men speak only the 4th division. See, we have heard this. People who have having the habit or the practice of chanting Lalita Sahasranama, then they please recollect this verse. Madhyama Vaikhari Rupa Pashyanti Paradevata. So these are the 4 stages of transformation of sound. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari. And then we all have heard the famous Kirtana, Vatapi Ganapatim Bhaje of Dikshitar. There also, he says, in the second stanza, he says, Paradi Chakvari Vagatmakam, Murari Pramukhadhyupasitam, Paradi Chatvari Mooladhara Kshetra Sthitam. So for Ganapati, they say that Mooladhara Kshetra Sthitam. The seat of Lord Ganapati is Mooladhara. See, according to Tantra Shastra, we have 6 chakras in our body from Mooladhara to Sahasrara. So, Mooladhara is the basic chakra and it is the seat, it is called, it has Bhutatva and it is the seat of knowledge and it is the seat of work. So once when a famous musician, Dr. Padmanabhan, was telling that, see, in music, they do alapanam. So by doing alapanam, Mooladhara is cleansed. So when Mooladhara is cleansed, our walk, that is our speech, will be cleansed. So the look at the relation that they have and the reason that they have found. So these are the 4 types of speech that we have. Para is latent. It is hidden. So that is why para is the supreme that is to be achieved. And Pashyanti, see, Vakyapadiya grammar text written by Bhartrihari gives a beautiful explanation about this. So I am giving you his explanation. It is not of my own. In Vakyapadiya, first chapter 14 stanza, he says, Pashyanti presents as the supreme reality, Shabda Brahman, which is identified with Pratibha, that is the talent, intuitive cognition, or the first flash of understanding. So, in Lalita Sahasranama, please recollect this, Ichha Shakti Kriya, Jnana Shakti Kriya Shakti Swarupini. See, in these politicians also use these words, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So this Pashyanti is the Ichha Shakti Swarupa of Shabda Brahman. The first stage in the transformation of thought or an impulse into speech is the Pashyanti, thought visualized. It is a pre-verbal or potential stage. In this stage, the latent unspoken thought that instinctively springs up is visualized within one's self. So it is visualized, no? So that is why it is called as Pashyanti. So the next stage, in Pashyanti state, Shabda is an unmanifested state. Yet, at the stage of Pashyanti, there is a kind of hidden impulse or a desire or Ichha for an expression. That is why I said that this is Ichha Shakti. That instinct or urge is indeed an experience, and it is said to prompt or motivate the formation of the Pashyanti vision. It is an intention to convey a certain meaning. Therefore, walk or the internal speech or thought at this stage stands for what has intended to be conveyed, and it is the first vision of what is yet to appear. So Bhartrhari employs the simple simile of the yolk of the peahen's egg, which is about to hatch. Before the hatching of egg, all the flecked colors of the peacock lie dormant in potential state in the yolk of the egg. In the same way, in the Pashyanti state, what all the things that we want to convey will be lying in a dormant or in a potential state. So how beautifully he is explaining the transformation of speech. So the third stage is Madhyama. This is Jnana Shakti. The Pashyanti walk thereafter transforms into an internal, that is subtle, sukshma intellectual process, that is jnana. That is the level of thought, buddhi matropadana, during which the speaker becomes aware, that is parigrihita of the word as it arises and takes a form within. Madhyama to antasamniveshini parigrahita krameva buddhimatropadana sukshma prana vrityanugata. As that cognition crops up and takes a shape within, he grasps it. Here, one looks for and identifies appropriate words, phrases, and their sequence, which are capable of conveying one's intentions clearly. So, as Professor Matilal puts it, in other words, he recognizes the verbal parts which he is about to be verbalized either to himself or to another as distant and separable from the artha or thought. That sequence of thoughts results in definite and clear array of words. This is the intermediate stage. That is why it is called as the Madhyama walk, a sequenced but a pre-vocal thought described as the voice of silence, perhaps best understood as internal speaking. Here, there is no perceptible sound or nada. The Madhyama walk is in an inaudible wave or vibratory spandana form. Thus, Madhyama is the stage at which the initial idea or intention is transformed into series of words as conceived by the mind before they are actually put out. It may even be regarded as introspection or as a sort of internal dialogue. All the parts of speech that are linguistically relevant are present here in a latent form. At this stage, which corresponds the prakrita dhvani, the word and the meaning are still distinct, and the word order is present. Therefore, temporal sequence may also be present. So, this is called as the silent voice. So, the fourth is the Vaikhari. So I will repeat after this, I will repeat again. And the Madhyama, when it is put out explicitly through uttered words and sentences, and when it comes out of the speaker's mouth in sequenced and verbalized speech form, set in motion according to his or her will, is called Vaikhari walk. For the purpose of putting out the Vaikhari walk, the speaker employs a sentence comprising words uttered in a sequence. The word itself comprises letters or syllables, varnas, that follow one after the other in space and time. Thus, the Vaikhari walk is the act, that is Kriya Shakti of articulated speech, which as sound waves reaches the ears of listener and then on to her or his intellect. It gives expression to the subtler forms of walk. The Vaikhari is the physical or gross form of the subtle thought, or is the outward expression of the intention of the speaker, and which emerges as the spoken word. It is the one that it is heard and apprehended by the listener in a flash of understanding. So I will repeat these two lines of Lalita Sahasranama again. Madhyama Vaikhari Rupa Pashyanti Paradevata Ichha Shakti Jnana Shakti Kriya Shakti Swarupini. So from Para to Vaikhari. So Vaikhari is the walk that we are talking and we are listening to all. So the spoken word comes out of one's mouth, no doubt. However, it needs the assistance of breath and of several body parts in order to manifest itself. So when a person wills to express a thought orally, the air, pranavayu, inside his body spurs and moves up. Shabda, or the walk, speech, or utterance then manifests through dhvani, sound patterns, with the assistance of appropriate organs. In this process, the head, throat, tongue, palate, teeth, lips, nose, root of the tongue, and bosom are set to the 8 places which assist the sounds of the letters to become audible and explicit. Vaikhari represents the power of action, Kriya Shakti, as I told you. This is the plane at which the walk gains a bodily form and expression, and the intent of the speaker is transported into the listener until this final stage. The word is a mental ichha or an intellectual jnana event. Now, the articulated word comes out in succession and gives substance and forms to one's thoughts. Vaikhari is the final stage of communication where the word is externalized and rendered into audible sound, that is Prakrita Dhvani. So regarding the mode of propagation of sound, Mimamsakas are satisfied saying that Vayu, air, Nada, audible sound. Nado Vayu Gunaha, Vayurva Yadi Kalpyate. Kumarela Bhatta says in Shloka Vartika, Vayureva Talvadi Sthana Samyogat, Shabda Gunako Nishpadyate, Shabdasyapi Vayu Gunatvam Veditavyam. Say Parthasarathi Mishra in Nyaya Manjari. Vayureva, so the air, when it touches our different parts of the body, it becomes sound, they say. So in Sangeeta, or the music, is the best manifestation of sound we have. It is ever known. All of us know that. So in Sangeeta Makaranda of Narada, he says, Atma vivakshamanoyam manah prerayate, manaha dehastam vanhim ahanti, sa prerayati marutam, brahma granthi stitasto soya kramad urdhva pathe charan, nabhi yutkanta murdhasu, eva avirbhavayati dhvanim. So, here the avirbhava, the production of sound, is described beautifully here. The Atman, desirous of speaking out of its intention, excites the mind. Manah prerayate. And the mind operates on the vital heat of the body by setting the air in the Brahma Granthi, rises up and produces sound through the navel, the heart, the neck, the head, and the face. This sound is the basis for origin of the vocal music, says Narada in Sangeeta Makaranda. And we know that we have heard about the music therapy also. And for I will give you a living example for music therapy. There was a girl who was mentally retarded as my neighbor where we lived before. And she could study up to 10th standard because of the courtesy of her teachers. After 10th, she couldn't pass because she was not normal. She was an abnormal child. And as a girl, the parents ran from doctors to doctor, but in no way it helped. And when they took her to Nimhans, one of the doctors advised the parents to make her learn Carnatic vocal music. You believe it or not, she learned Carnatic vocal music just for 3 years and she became normal. She could pass 10th standard and she could be a graduate. She could become a graduate and now she is leading a happy life with 2 children in Jim. So this is the miracle of the music. And in IIT Kharagpur, they experimented on 15 students. They made them to listen a raga for 10 minutes. And the action of the brain was 100%. And the graph remained the same until they were listening to that particular raga. So these are all the examples that the music influences the man and it corrects many of the disorders in us. And also, you might have heard of Omkara. See, when many of us meditate on Omkara, so when we meditate on Omkara, we should be very much conscious about our posture, our backbone, our neck, and our head should be in a straight line. And the sound should start from our navel and then it should reach the head and come out through our mouth. So if this is practiced for several days, so you can and it is also a breathing exercise, you see. See, let me say once. See, there is a hidden agenda in this. See, while saying akara, the navel part of the body will be cleansed. So the people having the disorders or any illness in the navel part or below that, they should concentrate on akara in Omkara. And Ukara cleanses the thoracic cavity. So the people who are having the digestion problem or heart problem or circulation problem, they can concentrate on Ukara on Omkara And Makara cleanses the upper portion of the neck, that is the head part. So it cleanses all the sense organ and inner parts of the brain. So many researches is being made on the meditation of Omkara. There are many videos, you can go through it. And we all are aware that if Omkara is said in chorus, a divine environment is set up there, and a divine silence. You can experience the divine silence there. See, when you can only experience it when you say Omkara, and when you end it, you can experience that divine silence within. That is the power of Omkara, and it cleanses all the parts of our body. And from today, do make a habit to practice Omkara at least for 5 times a day. Okay? Yes. Next, let me go to the concept of light. Namas Savitre Jagade Kachakshushe Jagat Prasuti Sthitinashahetave Trayi Mayaya Trigunatmadharine Virinchi Narayana Shankaratmane. And Vedas are full of praise for the sun, because Surya Atma Jagataha, he is they consider that he is the soul of this universe. We all know that without sun, no world can exist, and no online meeting like this could have been happened between you and me, isn't it? So we should be grateful to this sun. Namas Savitre Jagade Kachakshushe, because he is the eye of this universe. Jagat Prasuti Sthitina Shahetave. And he is the creator, he is the cause of creation, sustenance, and devastation of this universe, who is the supreme knowledge praised in all the 3 Vedas, in whom sattva, rajas, and tamo gunas are held, who is the in the form of Trinity, that is the creator, protector, and destroyer. So he is the main cause of day and night. He is the reason for the seasons to happen. He is the main cause of motivation of living beings on earth. He is a nourisher by giving us food. He is the creator, protector, and devastator. He makes the plants to prepare food by photosynthesis in his presence. He is considered to be omnipresent and omniscient, and so he is considered to be the God in almost all cultures and all civilizations. The light of Brahman drives out of darkness of death. The world of Brahman is eternal and constant. Shvetashvataropanishad describes thus: Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kuto yamagnihi, tameva bhantam, anubhati sarvam, tasya bhasa, sarvamidam vibhati. And there shines neither the sun nor the moon, still it is self-illuminated by the brilliance of Brahman, which is more lustrous than millions of suns. And all the bodies in the universe reflect his light. This whole of universe is shining because of his luster. We can understand the reflection of light through this height. Light shows the path of liberation to those who are caught in ignorance and delusion. This path is illuminated by the light of Brahman only. Those who enter the light of Brahman never return. They become Jyoti Swarup and self-existing, and remain immersed in the light of pure bliss, that is Ananda Jyoti. So we know, we have seen the sun in his chariot having the 7 horses. So what is the significance of 7 horses that he has? So there are many interpretations. The 7 horses are named after 7 meters that are composed. The hymns are composed in Rig Veda: Gayathri, Brihati, Ushnik, Jagati, Trishtub, Anushtup, and Pankti. Represent 7 colors in twilight. They symbolize stability, courage, power, strength, and loyalty. And hanging 7 horses painting is believed to have a positive influence aspects of one's life. Running horses also depict speed and growth in life. Further, the number 7 is regarded as auspicious. We have to feel around that it is India that has given the speed of light accurately in 14th century CE. Sayana, the minister of Vijayanagar empire, that is the King Bukka, has calculated this while giving the commentary to the hymn of Rigveda, first mandala, 50th mantra, and 50th chapter, 4th mantra. Taranir Vishwadarshato Jyotish Kridasi Surya Vishwama Bhasirochanam. This means, swift and all beautiful art thou, O Surya, sun, maker of the light, illuminate all the radiant realm. So explaining this verse in Rigveda commentary, Tathacha स्मर्यते योजनानां सहस्रे द्वे द्वे च योजने एकेन निमिषार्धेन क्रममाणः. So this means it is remembered here that the sunlight travels 2202 yojanas in half a nimesha. Note, nimeshartha is half a nimesha in Vedas. Yojana is a unit of distance and nimisha is a unit of time. Unit of Vedic time is has given here. The Moksha Dharma Parva of Shanti Parva in Mahabharata. So I have given the table here. That is 15 nimisha is one kastha, 30 kastha is one kala, 30.3 kala is one muhurta, 30 muhurta is one day. We know day and night 24 hours, so we get 24 hours 30 into 3, 30.3 into 30 into 15 nimisha. This comes to, that is 0.1056 seconds. So then this is the yojana, and if you convert this into miles, 2.0202 into 9.909 miles per this would come to 1,89,547 miles per second. As per Rigveda, it is 189,547 miles per second, and it is, as per modern science, speed of light is 1,86,000 miles per second. So we can know the accuracy of calculation in Indian calculative system. Solar system and motion of planets. See, please see the mantras from Rigveda. This is 10:149 and first mantra. Savita yantraihi prithivim aramna daskambhane savita dhyamudamrit ashvamivadhukshadhunimantariksham aturte baddham savita samudram. The sun has tied earth and other planets through attraction and moves them around itself, as if a trainer moves newly trained horses around itself, holding their reins. Yada te haryata hari vavrudha te dive dive aditye vishwa bhuvanani mire. All planets remain stable because as they come closer to sun, Due to attraction, their speed of coming closer increases proportionately. So, interestingly, the above relation is nothing but the conservation of angular momentum observed in cases involving central forces. If you replace angular velocity in linear velocity, it leads exactly to the same principle in the Vedic mantra that we said now, that velocity of planets is inversely related to distance from sun. But what is wonderful of the first shloka is the principles are in perfect sync with Kepler's laws of planetary motion and Newton's laws of gravitation. In fact, if these Vedic principles were known, deriving Kepler and Newton's laws and hence law of conservation of angular momentum becomes the next easy logical step for an analytical mind. So, Supriya, what time is remaining?
Ma'am, 5 minutes, ma'am.
5 minutes. Yes. Let me take the example of space-time relationship and end with quantum physics. Okay. There is a beautiful story in Bhagavata about space-time relationship. There was a king by name Kakudni. He had a beautiful daughter by name Revati. And then he did not find, Revati was very beautiful, and she was Vidyavati, Gunavati, Rupavati, etc., etc. So he did not find a suitable bridegroom for her on this earth. So he went to Brahmaloka to find a suitable bridegroom for her, and he went along with his daughter. When he went there, Brahma was listening to music of Gandharva, and he waited for 5 minutes there. And then when he met Brahma, he said that there was no one on earth alive now whom he was thought of. And their grandsons and great grandsons are all have perished in the water of time, in the stream, in the ream of time. So he can give his daughter to Balarama, that is the brother of Lord Krishna. And because by there in Brahmaloka, he had spent 27 Chatur Yugas there. See, 5 minutes of Brahma is 27 Chatur Yugas for human beings. See, we know that in all the Puranas, we have the table of division of time. You can go in detail into it. So, there are 4 yugas we know. That is one Mahayuga, that is Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. And they are split in the ratio 1:2:3:4. So according to that, 4,32,000 years of Kali Yuga. That into 2 is Dwapara Yuga. That into 3 is Treta Yuga. And that into 4 is Krita Yuga. So 27 into 43,20,000 years have been elapsed when he met Brahma. Okay. So this is an example for the space and time relationship. And let me end up with quantum physics and Advaita Vedanta of Adi Shankaracharya. So you might be astonished. So why this madam is quoting Adi Shankaracharya for Advaita Vedanta? Johnston states that ancient message in Mundakopanishad is relevant to the modern age, where search for and application of truth alone often predominates the field of science. There is obviously only one alternative, he wrote, namely the unification of minds or consciousness. Their multiplicity is only apparent. In truth, there is only one mind. This is the doctrine of Upanishads. According to the Upanishads, Brahman alone exists. So let us know what the comparison between the Adi Shankara Advaita Vedanta and quantum physics. This world is Maya, an illusion. So quantum physics says the world we see and perceive are not real, they are just 3D projections of mind. And Adi Shankara says Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. Only the Brahman is the absolute reality. Only that consciousness is absolute reality, says quantum physics. Sorry. Brahmananda is created and dissolved again into the Parabrahman. The atoms bind together to make planets, stars, comets, and at some time later, they disintegrate and merge with consciousness. This you can remember for the introductory mark from Vishnu Sahasranama, Yata Sarvani Bhutani Bhavantyadi Yugagame Esmimsta Pralayam Yanti Punareva Yugakshaye. So Jivatma is nothing but a separated soul from Brahman and has to strive to merge with Brahman called Moksha. Everyone was once part of one consciousness, later separated, and has to merge back to that consciousness. Jiva feels he is real because of the presence of mind. Individuality is an illusion that is caused by mind. So when the Jiva becomes realized, then it is the state of nirvana, the Jiva beyond time, space, and mind. When someone deeply understands that consciousness, then there is no time, no space, and no mind. Brahman cannot be realized through senses because they are limited. Infinity cannot be understood with finite mediums. So what they both teach, we are all one consciousness experiencing differently, subjectively because of different karma. There is no such thing as death. Life is just a dream. We are eternal beings. The reality, as you know, does not exist. What the entire quantum physicists have understood is just a part of Advaita philosophy of Adi Shankaracharya, which is purely derived from the Vedas. There exists none greater a scientist than Adi Shankaracharya. The unchanging reality is called God by common people, called consciousness by scientists, called energy by believers. So, yes, let me end up. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shaktirupen Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Now, just now we said that is the energy. So the this is omnipresent everywhere in this is in the whole of this universe, in the movable and immovable things. Let us experience that within. Let me end that with the stotra from Bhajagovindam. All of us have listened to Bhajagovindam of Dr. M.S. Subbalakshmi. There, last shloka, Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarat Achirat Bhavamuktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam Drakshyasi Nija Hrudayastham Devam. So, Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha, one should be a true devotee of Guru. Then you can be freed from the bondage of this worldly bondages. Then Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam. Then you can control your senses you can control your mind, you can do the internal journey, and you can see the God within, and you can experience the God within, and you can experience the bliss within. So, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all for patience listening. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Dhanvin?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Yes. Ma'am, I want to ask a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, you said 5 minutes in Brahmaloka is like 27 Chaturvedas in
Chatur Yugas. Yes. 27 into 43 lakh 20,000 years. See, that table of time is given in all the Puranas. You can refer that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, do you know how to, where is the real Mahabharata and Ramayana?
Where is real See, they say that they are itihasas. Okay. Itihasa means itihasa. Once it was like that, it is history. So, where is means we have found many places, even to this day, even in Bangalore, there are some places where Pandavas were there. There is Pancha Lingeshwara in south of Bangalore, okay, where Pandavas worship, they used to say. And even Sun Temple is there. And in Ramayana, Agastya taught this Aditya Hridaya to Rama. Aditya Hridaya is nothing but different physical features of sun. So we have, if we have to know all these things, we have to go into them. We have to study them first. We have to know them, and then we can ask questions, isn't it? So one thing is, if this what program has kindled one man or one person to ask any questions, to think in himself, means, so I think this program is successful. Is it not, Supriya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Madam, just to add what Dhanvin was asking, there are some publications which are telling you the dates of, I think he was failing to ask where, instead of where, he should have asked when was the Ramayana Mahabharata happened. Some researchers are doing the date, what you call dating of Ramayana Mahabharata. Hope it may be helpful.
Yes. About the dating of Mahabharata, now it is clear that it is 3,100, between 3,000 and 3,100 BC. Okay. And about Ramayana, recently we know that NASA had captured the picture of Dhanush Koti, and they said that it is the first man-made bridge. So Ramayana date backs to these. We have to know there's some carbon this image study are being conducted now, and the studies are the researches are being done. But when we go to
No,
yes.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yes,
there
yes.
are certain what you called astronomical events which are described in Ramayana and Mahabharata are calculated using an application called Stellarium. They are using that, and also they are trying to predict the exact date. Scientifically, they are predicting the dates based on the astronomical events which are mentioned in both these texts.
Yes.
Sir?
Yes, Dhanvin?
Sir, where did you find this, get these books?
books are available. So many books are available. You can see the books. I will share with you.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, time is running out. So that we will end here. And I call Swati. Swati?
Ma'am.
Okay. To present the vote of thanks, I invite Swati. Swati?
It's a great honor today for having a great session with Dr. Y.S. Gayathri ma'am, and we all learned more information about physics in ancient Indian literature. Thank you for your precious time with us, ma'am. And I would like to introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. Y.S. Gayathri ma'am. Ma'am is an eminent scholar in Sanskrit, hailing from a family of Sanskrit scholars. Ma'am has Vidwat, MA and PhD to her credit. Ma'am has put in 31 years of service as a Sanskrit lecturer in Sri Balaji PU College in Bangalore. Ma'am has been a part of many NGOs like Samskruta Bharati, Swadeshi Vignana, Andolana Karnataka, National Institute of Vedic Science, Nada Veda Adhyayana Kendra, and others. Ma'am has conducted more than 20 Samskruta Sambhashana Shibiras for general public. Ma'am has given many public lectures in the areas of Sanskrit literature and Indian culture in various places. The society has recognized her to be a good translator with her translations from Sanskrit and Hindi languages to Kannada English. Ma'am has organized several national and international seminars and presented more than 50 papers in many areas of knowledge system. Ma'am is a regular contributor of an e-magazine in Kannada by name Akshara in the field of Indian scientific heritage. Ma'am is a member of editorial committee in Pali, Kannada Kosha project. Currently, ma'am is regularly giving lectures on YouTube in association with NIVS on every Sunday on scientific knowledge in ancient India. Thank you. Thank you for giving a chance to introduce a great person. And I would like to thank
Swati.
our organizer, Supriya ma'am and Srikant
Swati,
sir.
don't thank it. Wait a minute. Madam Gayathri, madam, it was a technical issue in the beginning. We could not read out the profile of you. Please excuse us.
No problem. No problem.
Some people want to have still one or two questions. Please allow that, and then you can continue.
Yes. Let them.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Vijay Sri and others, they wanted to ask. Please ask, madam.
Yes, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm Vijay Sri.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, can you put up your slide, ma'am? One slide on the source of sound, no, where you were talking about all the 10, I think you mentioned all the 10 sources, no? The neck, the murda.
One minute.
Meanwhile, Supriya, you may allow others also. Maybe Dr. Maya Devi, if she wishes to say something. Somebody from Science Utsav also.
Actually, I unmuted everyone.
You please allow. Maybe any of you are closing.
I allowed. Yes.
If anybody has to say something, let them say.
Ma'am, me.
Vijay,
Ma'am, I
ma'am,
want to say
unmute
something.
yourself, ma'am.
Then when you have to wait, let others say something.
That was a particular. Okay, ma'am, I think if you are not able. I was just wanting to find, you told there are the 10 locations of the source of the sound, like, no, starting from your kantha, then talu, murtha, then oshtaha, then dantaha. And then when we do all these things, I just wanted to know, like you even explained the whole activity of Om. When we do that, can you just explain how the sound goes in and the effects of that one? Because actually the whole of Sanskrit alphabets, the Varnamala has a lot of scientific association with the human body. So with respect to Om, can you just explain that thing in case?
Gayathri ma'am, unmute yourself, ma'am. You're muted.
You see, I'm not
Yeah, I think
finding that now. Okay, let me see. I did not count which slide is that.
yes, without
Kamathenu. Yes. Not
after
one.
this, after this, next.
After this, Chatvari va parimita padani.
After this, yeah, it was after
this. Yes.
Madhyam, next.
Kari. Yes, this one from Sangeeta Makaranda of Narada.
Yes, no, that was there, and I was looking at the scientific explanation of the Om as far as the sound sources are concerned and its internal body effects. Like you were telling about the posture, and when I say the Akara, Ukara, and the Makara, the how it actually, I think I have noted what you explained was with the Akara, I will be having the navel and below. But
Yes.
but then when you actually utter that one, what part of your body that is a vocal cord is actually energized, plus the effect, how does it go down? So if you can explain more on that.
See, one thing that will become another talk now. Okay.
I know that.
See, you can refer to Mandukya Karika. Okay. Akara, Ukara, and Makara. There he has explained Gaudapada Karika, Mandukya Karika, and he has explained it is explained very well there. Okay. So now, if I start explaining it, it will take another half an hour.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you just go to Mandukya Karika, okay, of Gaudapada, Mandukya Upanishad, and there about the Omkara and the equation to universe, Omkara and our body has been derived there in a beautiful manner. So one thing is that first we have to understand the concept of Upanishads in a proper way, and then how they have equated, then we can come to know. And then there was one question, so some opinion that where is physics in this? So I don't think that what Western concept says, that itself is physics. Why can't we think on our own land is my point of view.
Ma'am, Slok want to ask question. Slok.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am. I could not hear properly that what is Omkara.
What you spoke on?
Ma'am, Omkara.
Omkara, see, Omkara is formed out of 3 syllables, Akara, Ukara, and Makara. And you have to, for meditating on it, you have to sit straight, and your back, neck, and head should be in a straight line. That is spinal cord that should be in a straight line. And you have to start the sound should come from your navel. It should reach your head and then come out through vocal cords. So that is the mouth. And in Vedas, it is called as Anahata Shabda, because all the other words will be striking the vocal cord, but Omkara is not striking the vocal cord, they say. They Anahata Shabda, they say.
Okay, ma'am.
And by meditating Om on just for 5 minutes daily, many of our body parts will be cleansed, they claim.
Okay, ma'am, I understood. Thank you.
And then?
Ma'am?
Yes?
Ma'am, I was about to say something, no?
Yes.
Ma'am, when you said shlokas of Vishnu Sahasranama and Lalita Sahasranama,
yes,
I knew those parts. I know the whole of them both.
Yes, very good. Huh.
Now I am learning Saundarya Lahari.
Yes, very good. Very good. So I told that Muladhara and Sahasrara, they all come, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. 9th shloka says, Mahim Muladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham Sthitam Swadhishthane Krudi Marutam Akasham Upari Manopi Bhumadhye Sakalamapi Bhitva Kulapatham Sahasrare Padme Saharahasi Patya Viharase. So these are the energy centers that are situated in our body. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, I knew these parts, but I don't know which number of this.
What, which number of this?
Number of this shlokas.
This is 9th shloka in Saundarya Lahari.
Okay, ma'am.
I have one question.
Yes.
In one of your slide, you told that sun is in the center and then all the planets revolving out
Yes.
around it.
Yes.
But if you look at our Jyotisha Shastra, that Jyotisha Shastra takes Earth in the center and the rest of the things, including the sun, around it. So this, whether this, whatever you have put in the slide is also a part of any of the Upanishads, and like
I have taken directly from Rigveda. That is
yeah.
Rigveda 10th mandala and 8th mandala mantras I have taken. See why Jyotisha Shastra, why it takes is, see, we know all of that know that sun is a star and moon is a satellite. And they take that among Navagraha, they include these.
Right.
So, yes, because what our Indian Jyotisha is about is, so the celestial bodies that move in 27 nakshatras, that is from Ashwini to Revati, they call it as grahas. So sun is a planet, and this moon is also a planet to us. And even we know that they have also say that this Rahu and Ketu are not planets.
Rahu and Ketu are like
yes, they are the
shadow planets.
Yes, shadow planets, and they are not planets. They have taken, and in Yajurveda only you can see this.
So actually there is valid documentation of telling that sun is in the center and all the other planets are going around the sun. Is
no. See, when
yeah, yes, yeah.
See, Rigveda clearly says that Suryaha no deti nastancha gacchati. That is, Surya never, the sun never rises nor he sets. Neither he rises nor he sets. It is true.
Yes.
But no one can go against it. No, now also it is true. But see, in over a period of time, we have lost some connection. we know that our country had thousands of years of foreign invasion, and with that also we are having this much of knowledge, means this is the greatness of our country.
Madam, small introduction, if you don't mind.
Yes.
For Vijayashri question, it was in 400 BCE when Aryabhatta wrote his Aryabhattiyam. It is described in the 4th chapter of Aryabhattiyam called
in Golapada.
Golapada.
Yes.
Unfortunately, nobody has referred this one. Our own people. We should not blame others.
Yes.
We ourselves did not read, but we went to temples and say Rahu Ketu only is making the grahanas. But in this one, he has clearly written Bhu Chaya is the reason for the shadow, that eclipse, all those things.
Yes.
It is our mistake, our own mistake, that we didn't propagate the scientific knowledge written by Aryabhatta to our generations. It is the right time that we should propagate what Brahmagupta.
Sir, one thing is, most of the scientific literature, whatever the subject you take, yes, it is in Sanskrit. Okay, so most of the scientific literature is in Sanskrit. So whether it is Rasaratnakara, Rasaratna Samuchaya, or whether it is, see, I can give a number of texts for mathematics and astronomy in Sanskrit. Okay, so one thing is, we have to make our younger generation to learn Sanskrit, to know about this, See, I'm very much interested in, and I'm doing research in scientific field only in Sanskrit.
Right.
Scientific literature in Sanskrit.
Yes.
So I'm in this field since 20 years.
Nice to know about this. Because there are so many things already well documented in our thing which we ourselves have not explored, and then it is lost due to many of the reasons.
So there is a caution also here. It is only mentioned. The development is done by the Westerners. We cannot say they were bad like that. See, mention of a concept does not mean the development of a concept, because science is not developed at that stage when Aryabhatta was conceptualizing it. But whereas later stages, there is a huge development, which our own people, they were not worked on it. Whether as others have worked, or it is good or bad, that we should not get into it. There is a reference, but development may not be there. Because of that, some people will reject. See, the first definition of ecliptic came from Aryabhatta only. But after ecliptic, so many development has happened in astronomy. So that is not there.
The first reference of ecliptic, you can find it in Rigveda only in 10th mandala. See, Rigveda 10th mandala has a lot of hints regarding this astronomy and regarding this solar energy. So first we have to go into that. So we have to understand it properly. So we have to go back to our roots.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for discussion.
That is my concern. That's all.
That is very true, that we need to actually explore those things which were untouched still now for various reasons.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Your number, I would be happy to keep in touch with you, because I'm doing some of the scientific things in this particular aspect.
I will send you Vijaya, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Ma'am, shall we end the session?
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It is very informative.
Yes.